You're watching Masters in Trading Live with Jonathan Rose.
Hey friends, what's up guys? It's Jonathan Rose and welcome to Masters in Trading Live. Masters in Trading Live, I get on here every day the market's open, 11 o'clock Eastern, go over the market, share a few tidbits, and once in a while, we'll even share our trade of the day. Today, we're gonna do a little carryover from yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about the QQQs, we talked about very short-term options. Short-term options are called ODTE. That's 1 day until expiration. Weekly options are going to expire that week. So now, with the flexibility of options, you can find options that expire in a day, in a week, in a month, in 3 years, whatever you want. But they're all just options. That's something really important to remember. 1 day till expiration options, they're just options. 1 year to expiration, 3 years till expiration. They're all the same thing. They just have these silly different names. ODTE 1 day, they have leaps for long-term options. They're just options. We're gonna look over the QQQs, our short-term options, and then we're gonna talk about gold and we're gonna talk about silver. Let's go over the charts. Let's have some fun. Okay, I'm gonna start off right here because yesterday, we shared this chart of the QQQs. We're looking at weekly of the QQQs going back to 2022. What I want you to notice, and what was really the reason of why we shared these short-term trades. So these are weekly bars. This is this week. The high today, 475. The low, 449. The previous week, the low was 448. So the previous week low is exactly the same as this week's low. So our traders were able to take advantage of trades that allowed them to buy, betting that we'd stay above this weekly low. We tried to do the same thing on the weekly high right up here at 474, but sadly, last trade, 475.20, that trade is not working out nearly as well. So let's go over a few trades. Let's go over the slide deck. Carmine, what a lovely thing to wake up to. Thank you for sharing this. Carmine this morning, thank you for the VIX lessons. I would have been getting out with 50% returns, but now I'm sitting on 140% return. So Carmine, great job. Thank you. Oh, I got new sounds here. Yay! All right, gold silver ratio. I shared this yesterday, but I didn't share this chart going back to the early 1900s. This is a chart of the relationship between gold and silver. 2000, the gold silver ratio has been trading between 100 and say 60. After COVID, the gold silver ratio spiked up to 110, but then it came right back down. So if I pull up my pen right here, this is COVID right here. And this is gold versus silver. So if one wanted to do this trade right here, they would sell gold and you would buy silver. If somebody wanted to do the trade down here, they would buy gold because gold is inexpensive relative. Where'd you learn how to spell? Silver. Okay. Right now, the gold silver ratio is trading way, way, way up here. The gold silver ratio is the highest that it's ever traded. Here's what it looks like on one of my charts. Right now, I'm just using Thinkorswim charting. What this is, it's gold minus silver. I'm using futures to chart this. If you chart this using futures, it's just 1 by 1. Gold starting in 2022. Here you would buy gold, sell silver. Here you would sell gold and buy silver. Okay? Well, right now, recently, as I've mentioned, this is the highest this ratio has ever traded. What about if we look at it like this? We could look at it like gold minus silver, and then we're just looking at it as one chart, right? Well, the other way we can look at it is if I break them up. Just gold outright, silver. Right now, silver is so obnoxiously inexpensive relative to gold. We are so absolutely bullish silver. Okay? Without a doubt. SLV you can look at. PAS is a name that we've traded in the free portfolio. Any ways to express silver? Heck, you can go into silver futures if that tickles your fancy. We are bullish, 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 bullish silver, especially relative to gold. Okay, back on the Qs. I took that this morning. The Qs traded up to last week's high and then sold off. But sadly, it's rallied once again. So here were the support and resistance. This is shared in our Discord community. The 448 support, that worked at the beginning of the week. The 473, 474 resistance, it was working, but sadly, the market has now climbed through that crucial level. Let me just pull up a chart here so you can see. Pull up the options right here. Do that so they stay on front. And so yesterday, we shared this trade. And the idea, again, we were playing off that weekly high and the weekly lows. And so yesterday, the trade that I shared, the 469 puts expiring in 1 day, so now it's 0 days, we were buying for $215. Now traders, it's $215 to put on this trade. It expires today, and right now, that $215 is worth $16. This is a pretty bad trade. It's going to happen. The reason why we got into this trade is because we were expecting the high of the week to hold. Sadly, the high of the week did not hold, so this looks like it's going to be a big fat loser. It happens, guys, and it just happened to us. Looked like earlier we nailed the 474. See, you want me to make your fantasy picks, but then the market takes out your 474, so you don't want me to do your fantasy picks. And then our QQQs right here. Okay? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sadly, that was a loser. But this is going to be good news, because what I have in front of you here, and I found this looking at the Chicago Board Options Exchange on the CBOE, because there's such great growth in these short-term options, but we're always looking for a way to play it without it being so expensive. And the QQQ trade that we just had, you know, $200 overnight, that could add up. Awesome product that they came out with is this new, there's the SPX, that's 450,000, but they have a new XSP, which is going to allow us to trade SPX for 1/10 of the size. So we often talk about trading short-term options. We want people to learn, and we want people to learn on paper, right? If you can learn while paper trading, you don't risk any money. You learn on paper trading, pretend like it's a video game. Once you get comfortable, then you can move on to risk real money. But how this will work is, here's the SPX. Last trade when I copied this was 56.11. Well, XSP, the last trade, is 561.19. So it's literally just 1/10 the size. So for instance, 56.60, if a trader wanted to buy these for $1.50, that would be a $150 investment. But if we come down here, 56.60s, instead of doing a $150 investment, we're taking it down to just a $15 investment. So the ticker symbol is going to be XSP. But when we're learning, we're always looking for different ways that how can we learn without it costing a whole bunch of money? I'm constantly telling people, paper trade. Learn on paper, but then some of you out there, and I get this, hey, I need to have some skin in the game in order for me to learn. One, that's not real. When you say that you need to have some skin in the game, you're kind of just training your head. You could trade on paper, but for those who refuse to trade on paper because you need skin in the game, look for different, I'm going to be punny here, look for different options. SPX, a great alternative, is symbol XSP, 1/10 the risk. Every day we're live here, guys, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend.